Well, there's all the source of the noise, as you will hear. Okay. So even though it has been raining, because of this really huge canopy that we built, there's still plenty of room to, well, to play. And so we're going down. Well, this is, we're going to do a quick update on James and Jessica's house. And well, it is looking terrific. Now this is quite a steep, it's quite a steep walk down. Oh, this is looking terrific. Well, James, you got a lot done today.
Well, a lot of time-consuming stuff.
Well, yeah, but you got a lot done.
Yeah. The worst part's over, and that was this huge.
This was the most difficult part.
Yeah. Thank you.
Looks terrific.
I need something for a shim. But my drill bit doesn't want to go down deep enough. Get a rebar or something, but I need a shim about a half inch thick. Maybe I can do this.
Boy, this is treacherous. So James, are you planning 2 stories?
Probably just, we'll use this as a living space and then another one.
And you're putting another floor?
2 stories is going to be way up there.
Yeah.
It's be like a castle. Yeah.
Why don't you use the dormer window idea?
The what?
Put dormer windows in instead of doing another floor. So you design the floor space so that you actually you design the roof space so that it will contain a room.
Oh, okay.
And you get away from the limit of the sloping roof by putting in dormer windows, which come out from the sloping roof. That's an
idea.
That's a very doable thing. In the UK, I used to do conversions like that. You know, the big Victorian houses, and they would have a big loft space, and because of the design of the roof,
lots of
room, we'd have to put in a reinforced floor because they've just got the ceiling when it's only the roof space.
It shouldn't be 2 by 12, yeah.
Yeah. So we'd have to put another steel beam in and then float a new floor. And then you would get a terrific amount of space, you know.
Yeah, a lot of space.
Really was.
Yep.
And you could put those dormers out, looking out over your view. Would be terrific, because you wouldn't want them looking that way, of course.
Oh, this is just a square box here, and the roof sidewall will go up in the roof, but
right.
It'll be like a roof going out there and a 4-foot offset, and then back here will be another 4 to 6 foot offset. And by the time I'm done. But for right now, I just want to get the thing framed in.
Right.
So you can put stuff inside.
But if you did, if you put another floor in and then a roof, like you say, it's going to be colossal size.
Well, that won't be so bad. But originally, we were just going to do what you did up there, you know, with 2 stories, and put it on stilts, so to speak. But now we're in the side of a hill. We got a basement, storm shelter, so to speak.
Well, you're going to have quite a space out the front there, aren't you?
Yeah.
You know
that's
and,
what you get.
Well, that will enhance the house tremendously. Putting that garage underneath, and then floating that what would be a roof come floor.
Yeah.
That will be the floor of your deck, and that will be the roof of the garage. That will be a terrific addition.
Yep.
Especially if you roofed that in the way that we've roofed in front of Nana's.
Oh yeah.
You know, you could actually have a sheltered.
Put a sunroof over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be terrific.
Yep.
Well, you're doing great progress. I can see great progress. You know, you it's probably not fast enough for you, but
I know. But hey, we're just doing the best we can here. These forms are underneath the concrete. And I had to notch the block so I got something to rest the forms on.
right.
And now all this weight of the concrete will be on there. And I had to put a screw in there because this end just kept flopping all over the place.
Oh, you mean the formers?
So now I can level and straighten it, and maybe it'll stay there. But
Right. Well, if you tie that into there, though.
well, that's what I was trying to do, is get the same measurement on
Right.
this end as that side.
Yes.
And I already checked that for square, and it's just right in the ballpark there. And,
So once it's all tied in, you know.
yeah. So now, if that corner's square and I measure the rest parallel, I should be all right.
Right.
So that's what I've been doing, is measuring this side, making it parallel with that side, and
Yeah.
then I'll do the same on this.
Right.
On this end is that end up there. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's terrific. Well, I won't delay you.
Hey, I got to sit down now. Yep.
Well,
I'm getting excited to get her done.
yeah.
Yippee-ki-yay, that's what we want right there.
Right. On the bubble.
Yep. Exactly in between the bubble. And I'm just debating if I want to put a little crown in this thing. Just
A little what?
a little crown. Will it come down? It's had a lot of time to settle, so I don't think it'll come down.
Oh, and float that underneath, you mean?
Well, no, when you're putting in beams, garage doors and stuff, you always turn the bow up and the material.
Oh, okay.
And then eventually it'll come down and it'll be straight.
Oh, I see what you mean. All right, yeah.
So this here is I'm just slowly pondering it, and like, do I take it up some, or do I just make it level, or, because it's quite a span.
Well, it is supported though in the middle there, isn't it?
Yeah,
So
it'll have a bunch of rebar in it. I mean, we got rebar in it now, so I can't really see it coming down.
no, I can't either. I might have been inclined to go overboard on how much rebar I would put in there, personally. You know, on the bridge, when we put the bridge in, but boy, we did serious overkill on the bridge.
Yeah, yeah. It's like I built a log house for a guy one time. Well, I was building the house, you know, we'd frame in the doors and the windows,
Right,
and then we put the floor joists in,
yeah.
and we had people stopping all the time saying, oh, we did a house this way, and this is what happened. And I was all happy for all the advice, but when you take a moisture tester and put it to the wood, that'll tell you what you have to do.
Yeah.
Because if they take logs and the wood is really high in moisture, yeah, you're going to have a lot of shrinkage.
Yeah.
But if your logs are almost dry or pretty much within the ballpark,
Right.
you only have a little bit.
Ah.
And so we figured a 5/8 that this stuff would shrink. And so after the people were living in the log house for about a year, maybe a little over a year, closer to 18 months away, they invited us back for dinner. And we got out the level and the measuring stick, and he said, "Man, you were right on, 5/8."
Wow, there we go.
It was level.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I'm thinking here, is if I put a little crown in the beam, and then if it does come down a little bit, it'll be straight. Otherwise, it'll be bow down.
Well, if you think about when the roof goes on there, or
Concrete is concrete, and
Yeah.
I don't think it'll give like...
no, I don't. I think if it was unsupported in the middle, you're looking at some serious.
It'll come down.
Yeah, it would. When you think of those, those trucks with the trailers, semis, and the size of the steel that's in those, and yet they put a serious bow in that, so that when they get those huge JCB machines on there, it will actually just about level out.
Yeah.
So
It's
even
amazing,
on
but
those,
concrete and aluminum and stuff, that has a memory,
yeah,
and if you stretch it, it'll never go back.
right,
And then concrete, it's just unforgiving. Once it's there, it's there. The only
Right.
thing it can do is if you're in where it freezes and thaws, it'll heave and crack and bust up on you. But
well, it never actually completely cures, does it?
they say it takes 28 days for it to cure, but it depends on the mix, I guess.
But it never completely cures. That's what I've always been told. That's what I've always thought, that it just never completely cures. Like some of the other woods that I've been talking about recently, about
Dries out.
MDF and particle board, that stuff. That's why it was making some people who are very sensitive. It made them sick, because it never actually completely cured. It was always letting off a gas.
Gas, because of the chemical mix.
Right. Well, they used formaldehyde in those compressed boards,
Oh yeah, the paneling. Some
Yeah.
paneling in the houses. Yeah. Yep.
and that's not kind. It might keep dead bodies in slightly better shape, but it's not good for a live body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like one guy was trying to find something good in it, and he said, "Oh, one thing is good is that when they exhumed somebody, their body stayed intact longer."
Yeah, not a huge thing of interest to the person whose body is in shape. Okay, I'm going to go now. Thanks for talking to us.
Yep, you're
All right,
welcome.
bye then.
All right, bye-bye.